Sorry, coming. Hello. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Board Game Cuppa. Game Design Cuppa. Board Game Cuppa. Morning, Rob. How are you going? How's everyone doing this fine Wednesday morning? Morning, Dakota. Morning. Yeah, it's a bit of a grey kind of, reminds me of England kind of weather day. So just slowly waking up really still. Hey Nicola. Hey. Yeah, hey Jay. Have some good mint tea this time. Just something a little bit calmer, a little bit smoother to sort of start the day as it would be. But yeah. How's everyone else doing? Hey Theo. You going? Welcome. I should learn from the best. Theo is the premier coffee streamer, board game design coffee streamer. So I'm just copying from the best. I was actually one thing I was gonna talk about was the Asdor selection, and so those who don't know Theo, who's in the chat, Theo Rivera is an excellent, fantastic game designer. Go and check out his stream if you get a chance. I'm sure actually quite a few probably are. And he does excellent morning streams, albeit in French, so not for everyone. But yeah, one of the kind of cool things was that I think I'm pretty sure it was yesterday, right? I think that they announced the Asdor. So for those who don't know, Asdor is essentially the French equivalent of something like the Spiel des Jahres, so Game of the Year. Yeah, they again, a bit like Spiel des Jahres, they also have like a children's category, a kind of a general kind of family category, and then an expert category. So we can have a stream off, or we could just say that we're best in our respective language, native languages or something like that. Although Theo, of course, can also speak English, so he's got me beat. He's got me beat on every side. But anyway, and the really cool thing was that Theo actually has not one but two of his games nominated in the children's category. So there's Detective Charlie from Loki, and there's also Maison de Souris, which is from Gigamic, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, congrats, Theo. I saw a prototype of Maison de Souris, I think, when I visited you at some point. It's a really cool, like 3D kind of hide and seek kind of thing. Now I speak French too. Yeah. And it's interesting because I think it's all very friendly in the children's category, as I understand, because the other games that are nominated are Dragonmino, which is by Bruno Cathala, sort of a children's version of King Domino, and Kraken Attack, which is by Antoine Valzo. So it's this family of all the, everyone knows each other, but it's nice that they're all kind of they're all French, like originally French games, because that's not always the case. A bit like. I think it's that they have to be published in French, but they don't necessarily need to be like French originally. Like, as you can see, actually, a lot of the other games, Tainted Grail, Paleo, Crew, King's Dilemma, Micro Macro, these are all games which are not originally French. Yeah, it seems that it's great in the children's category that everything is, they're French designers and things like that, which is fantastic. So. But of course, normally what would happen with the Asdor is that they'd have a ceremony at Cannes, which would be near the end of February, the game festival there. And they have I got to go once. Well, I've been to Cannes a few times, but I've been to the kind of a ceremony once, and watching it. It's sort of a red, almost like a red carpet affair. It's in the same auditorium they have the Cannes Film Festival in. So it's all very grand, actually. It's all very nice, very funny as I was told that it's very funny. I couldn't understand that they had like some musical numbers and like videos, and it was very impressive actually, and a complete what was it, like a complete comparison to something the Spiel des Jahres. Like Spiel des Jahres is so serious, and everything's exact, and everyone you've got the camera, like it's a small kind of auditorium, and it runs to like clockwork. It runs exactly an hour. And it's all very exact and planned out, whereas the Asdor ceremony takes like 3 hours. There's like singing and dancing, there's jokes, there's like funny things that when people come up and accept their nomination, they're allowed to say something. then they can talk as much as they want, and often are saying some very funny things or making fun of various things. So it's a very friendly kind of atmosphere. But yeah, it's just interesting. Theo can confirm that it's very funny. Yeah, I kind of wish that, you know, like, I think, yeah, it's something that's sort of untranslatable, I guess, or that, you know, if I don't understand, it's not going to work. But anyway, but I guess that won't be happening this year, because I think Khan has been confirmed that it's not happening now. Maybe it'll happen later in the year, but yeah, it's another what is it? Another casualty of the pandemic, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a really fun affair, actually. And also the really cool thing about Khan is that they have a, like, what they call the off, which is like the unofficial after hours festival, which is pretty official though. Hey Zikazama, how you going? Welcome. And it's amazing, because from like 10 p.m. through till like 6 a.m. there's this huge auditorium with people playtesting prototypes. It's incredible. Like, there must be at least like 500 people there. Like, in fact, it's so packed sometimes that you can't even get in, even if you want to, which I've never seen in any large fair ever in the world. So that's a very unique kind of part of that, which is very cool. Yeah. So congrats there. Yeah. How is everyone? Oh, how are you, Zikasama? I'm well. Just I was saying that having a bit of a slower start to the morning today. I can't say I slept particularly well, so just having a bit of mint tea and just relaxing with excellent people there. Oh, hey Fabio, how are you going? Welcome. I got to see Fabio's an upcoming game of Fabio's with Alicat Games not so long ago. If I'm right, I think it's co-designed with Nesta Mangore of Newton and Darwin's Journey fame. Correct me if I'm wrong. About like autobahns in Germany, I think. So I just had a bit of a look at it. I'm looking forward to playing it, actually. But that's yeah. Congrats, Fabio. Seem to be. How many games have you got out with publishers now, Fabio? You seem to be just exploding in productivity. Yeah. Zigama says, "Good. Just woke up because I'm a terrible morning person." Well, yeah, I know the feeling. I'm actually a morning person, thankfully, but sometimes that's bad if I don't. And thankfully, I usually sleep well. But in the rare times where I don't sleep well, it's kind of a double thing, because I can't really sleep in. So I just wake up anyway, and I kind of wake up with the light, which is nice, as it's now getting lighter and lighter. But it means that I wake up earlier and earlier. Which is good, but I have a bit more time normally to be productive. Not that happened this morning because I'm still playing a lot of Magic the Gathering, because they've released the newest set. But that will hopefully, you know, my level of addiction will decrease over time. But we'll see how we go. Just a couple for now. Okay, Fabio. Well, I mean, it's still very impressive, and yeah, I also still looking forward to trying Nerve sometime. But yeah, we'll see. I hope to get signed this year as I game ready. Oh yeah, great. Do you have a plan how to, like, yeah, because I know you were talking about sell sheets, right, Zikazama? Have you started sending things out to publishers? Did you enter the Cardboard Edison competition, for example? Yeah, I got all the entries now, or I got assigned the games I need to judge for the Cardboard Edison competition, and I started taking a look at the videos yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. The only comparison I have for this particular activity is when I used to be an interviewer for my college in Cambridge. So I would be interviewing prospective students to be undergraduates at Cambridge. And for those who don't know the kind of process, it's like a very, what's the word? Like, it's kind of very well known, you know, in the country, really. And it's quite an ordeal, I would say, because the children, you know, 16, 17, last year of secondary school, and they come, and the whole point about like Cambridge and Oxford interviews is that you're supposed to like try and test, you know, there's like a lot of these kind of things about like Oxford and Cambridge questions, because they're meant to be a bit outside the box, and there's supposed to be things that you can't really like study for necessarily, but they're trying to get you to apply your knowledge. Anyway, I mean, I could talk about the interview stuff like in a different stream. It's not really the point. But the thing was that like in that you'll interview like 30 people in the day or over a few days. and you essentially have to rank them because the whole point of that is to work out, you know, who the college would take. But the interesting thing is that you would always, like, I found it, you kind of have to see everybody and then realize like what is the range, and then you kind of know how to fit everybody in. Because if you don't know what all the entries are, you don't have like a point of reference. So for the Cardboard Edison, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, morning Simon, how are you going? Talking a little bit about Cardboard Edison at the moment. Welcome to the, I hope everyone has their favorite hot beverage. I have mint tea today. Hope everyone's enjoying anything. I don't drink coffee, so which would be quite useful right now, but. Okay, Zixama, you don't have a vid ready, not sure what to use to record. Do you have a smartphone or anything like that? Because even like a video from that would be fine, or your webcam. Yeah, but I understand it. Yeah, that can be difficult possibly. Or if you have like video capture software on your computer, you could, you know, like QuickTime, or there might be things that you can like capture the screen, or like as a video. I don't know if that happens, if that can work. If you had something in Tabletop Simulator, for example, you could try and make a video that way. Yeah, but yeah, hi, yeah, nice to see you, Simon. So yes, for the Cardboard Edison, I'm trying to essentially watch all the videos first to try and get a bit of a sense of like what's the range, and I think that will help me kind of decide, you know, like, yeah, because I guess you don't know like what, because you have to put everything, like a lot of things on like a scale of 1 to 7, and you know, if you don't know, yeah, if you don't kind of know what the best and the worst things are, you can only know that from knowing everything. So anyway, I'm hoping today to actually just go through and do that and complete my judging, because I have like a week and a half, but it's the kind of thing that I should just get out of the way. There's some really interesting things so far, actually. Some really cool prototypes, some really interesting ideas. Yeah, and I think it reminds you of this, just the really high standard. I think, to be honest, you know, a lot of these people, or I suspect, you know, haven't had any games published before, but even the games they're showing, the prototypes, are of a very high standard. And you know, I don't know if that would have been the case, you know, 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So yeah, that's quite cool. So Zikasami, your game's only on TTS. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So that's one thing you could look at, is that I don't know if there are any programs like QuickTime, like, you know, maybe you have a program that's already like in your operating system that may let you capture like your screen as a video, possibly. And you could essentially have Tabletop Simulator running and then like take a video, like record a video of you moving stuff around in Tabletop Simulator. Maybe. Possibly, and if you don't have sound, you could always try and add like subtitles or something, or like as a sort of narration, possibly. Yeah, but yeah, it's tricky. Nicola is drinking mate. That's just out with the kettle ran out of water. Yeah, like, well, yeah, I've never got into mate. It's I drink club mate every now and then, but it's not, for me. It's actually far too much caffeine because I'm not used to it so much. So that's it's always a bit of a risk, really. But yeah, I should also say, actually, I didn't say earlier, and I'm not sure if Theo is still here, but Theo cracked 100. I think he did, right? Cracked 100 100 concurrent like viewers of this stream, like on Tuesday, like yesterday, I think. So tell me if that's wrong, but that's amazing. Like, so like huge congrats, Theo. Yeah, it couldn't happen to a nicer person. So I'm really glad that it's working out. And yeah, I'm still thinking that it's, you know, I need to get a better collection of jumpers, because that 115, wow, fantastic. Yeah, I think it's the jumpers. I think it's the fashion, you know, that I need to up my game here. I only have a few rather boring jumpers, but you know, I could work on that, I guess. Or Ross has like those cool like board game like t-shirts and things, so that could be something. We'll see. Yeah. So, you know, I guess what's everyone's plans for today? What are people up to? As I said, I'll probably do some Cardboard Edison judging, I expect. I have a little bit of research. I'm meeting with my one of my new mentees today as well, from the Tabletop Mentoring Program. So we're doing that this afternoon. So that will be interesting. We'll see how that goes, I guess. Is anyone else who's been in that program, have they had their meetings yet? Is that I know Nicola's part of it. Rob, I think you're mentoring someone. Yeah. But we shall see what we shall see. Oh, you're taking part Sigma? Okay, cool. Have you met yet with your mentor or mentee? Have you? Yeah, it's always an interesting kind of. Oh, hey Arnold, how you going? This is the great Arnold Rouse. For those who don't know, we're working on a fantastic digital game. I've got to work out how to show the game on screen. I think I did work it out once, but it wasn't very stable. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun working on this card crawl adventure. And actually, it's kind of the fun part in a way right now because the game is reasonably stable, actually, I would say. So we kind of get the fun of just playing it a bunch and trying new card designs and things. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's well, I should say it's also down to Arnold doing a lot of work, but it seems to have like really accelerated in the last few weeks, or like really found its kind of feet or something. I don't know if you feel the same. Oh, okay. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, if you're okay with me streaming it, then yeah, that would be great. That would be really useful. Yeah. Because yeah, I'd love to do that. And actually, in a way, it might be for me. It might even be easier to test because I'm at my computer a little bit more. So yeah, if people haven't tried any of Arnold's other games, I would really recommend trying Card Crawl, which I can just drop link in the description, which may even be free on the App Store. I'm not sure. Someone can tell me if that's wrong or not. I mean, this is in Google Play. People can find the equivalent in the App Store, or yeah. But it's a really fun like solitaire kind of like card game. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Okay, and this link may or may not be good, I guess, but yeah, would recommend checking it out. Yeah, no, I really enjoy Card Crawl and a lot of Arnold's other games, and yeah, still kind of like a bit of a I feel very lucky that I'm able to work with Arnold actually, because yeah, it definitely kind of like a bucket list kind of collaborator. So yeah, it's kind of cool that it could work out. Yeah. So yeah, probably yeah, we'll do a bit more playing of Card Crawl. I expect. Yeah, just sort of noodling around with a few various projects, I guess. Doing a little bit. I finally made for those who were watching the stream on Monday. I have now printed out my game of this painting game, so it's all ready to go. So I actually will be playing a physical prototype for the first time for a while of one of my new games. So that's nice that it's kind of working out. Zikasama says, I enjoyed the mentor program, made 2 good friends as I tried being a mentor. Oh, fantastic. As well as a mentee to fill my skill gap. Yeah, oh, that's really great. And I mean, in a way, I love the program that I don't think there's many programs where, you know, the same participants can be both mentors and mentees. And I think that's really cool that you kind of can offer the kind of skills that you have and then, you know, try and, you know, gain new skills from, you know, I think that's like really cool. And I mean, it reminds me of like why playtesting is great, you know, that idea of reciprocation. You know, I playtest your game, you playtest mine. We both gain. We all kind of like lift each other up. So that's really cool. And I think I guess the program's doing better and better. Seems to have really grown, and maybe also people are more used to kind of, you know, being in contact digitally, virtually, and things like that. So that's probably also, I imagine, helped more and more people get involved, which is really great. Yeah. So otherwise, what shall we talk about? What anyone got any questions, any ideas, anything they'd want me to, any topics they want me to talk about, games or not? Learning how to be a mentor is also a good thing. That's true, actually. It's I think they do a very good job of. I mean, even when you go to their website and they kind of try and summarize even the different types of mentors, the different, like, really what is a mentor. And you're right, because I don't think it's not a type of relationship that you come across very often in your kind of day-to-day life, I think. But it's actually having mentors or being mentored it can be really valuable. And having, I think, a kind of a low stakes, easy entry point like this, and it's structured in a way that it helps you find a good match, and there's a lot of support around the program, I think is a really great initiative. And you're right, it's kind of a skill that you can apply like outside of game design or outside of the program itself. yeah, and finding good mentors is really invaluable, I think. So yeah, I think I've definitely. I'm trying to think what have been the things I've probably learnt the most about mentoring throughout the program. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I guess I also came from a different point because I already kind of mentor students when, you know, in research. That's also a very similar relationship when you're kind of like managing projects and things like that. So I guess I've picked up things from that as well. But I think, you know, setting goals, I think for this particular program, trying to set regular goals or having an idea of what's the goal for the next session, what do you want to get done in the next thing, how you like, you know, what if there's a question or a thing that you want to be able to answer or to be able to cover in the next topic, what you need to do to get there. So that kind of planning. So what do I teach? Yeah, I'm not sure if you mean games or research. I mean, in research, I'm a researcher, so I just supervise PhD students in chemistry, and I don't teach them necessarily because it's more supervising research projects. So I sort of guide them through. Yeah, I mean, like both the practicals of like how to do research or how to work with a particular program or a particular protocol, but also sort of helping them understand, you know. Yeah, understanding how that project is going to proceed, I guess. You're right, Rob. That's true. Yeah, project management is different. Mentor doesn't have a direct stake in the outcome. That's true. I guess in research, it's sometimes in the middle because if you are, like, at least the way I supervise, often it's in projects that aren't mine directly. So, but you're right because the results you're kind of involved with and you'll help analyze and things like that. So yeah, mentoring, yeah, you don't have that kind of direct stake in what's going on. I mean, in the game design kind of mentoring, it really just depends on the mentee, and I think that's the other thing that one of the other things I've learned is really like having that discussion, asking the questions early on in the process, ideally in the first meeting, about what the mentee wants to get out of the process. What do they want to learn? What are they, you know, what's their goal for the kind of whole 3-month process? Because there's obviously lots of things I can talk about, but you know, there's no point unless the mentee has really thought about what they want to get out of it. It's not going to be as effective because, you know, you want to get right to the sort of stuff that's the most useful for that person. So yeah, I've had mentees that are sort of very early on in game design, and then it's talking a lot about, you know, how do you know, prototype games, how do you iterate, how do you develop, how do you think about new ideas. And then I've, you know, all the way to like quite relatively experienced, like published designers who are more interested about thinking about, you know, how do you become, I guess, a professional designer? You know, how do you, you know, what are some things that you have to work about? You know, like what do you have to, like how do you work as a professional designer? How do you balance multiple projects? How do you sort of deal with the business side of like, you know, with publishers and contracts and things like that? So you can see this, like, depending on where someone is, it's a very different stage, like, or different set of knowledge that you're kind of offering. Yeah, education is about a long game as well as a media project. That's true. Yeah, and that's actually why I like research as well, because there's always a mixture of, even when you are trying to supervise someone for a particular project and you want a particular outcome, it's still also about I mean, that's the kind of one of the things about a PhD program is that as a PhD student, you're still a student, so it's still about learning new things. It's not just about churning out results. And when supervising that, you have to kind of keep that in mind. But I like that mix. I think it's nice to be able to have both of those things. Zixama says, will you be creating a tabletop simulated version of the game you're making? Yeah, well, actually, this game, for example, already only existed on Tabletop Simulator. And I had played it a few times and tried it out. Even showed it. Yeah, I played it with Theo actually once, which was it was possibly going to be a coder. I was, you know, like sometimes when I'm approaching someone or especially people I co-design with quite a bit, like Theo, you know, you have ideas and you're like, oh, I have this idea. Do you want to work on it? And in this case, I'd already kind of made a first prototype and we played it. And at the end, Theo was like, well, maybe it looks like it's pretty much done. So I don't know if we need to collaborate on it. Yeah, so it exists on Tabletop Simulator, but actually the newest version is not on Tabletop Simulator because I've only updated for the physical thing. But yeah, I have both essentially. But things have mostly been Tabletop Simulator around this time. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, I will reach out. Oh, hey, Marcus, how you going? Welcome. I feel like, how did I, Marcus? Have you? Well, firstly, welcome to the stream. Thanks very much for dropping by. Has something been announced of yours on Twitter? I feel like, did I just start following you on Twitter? I recognize your photo, and I can't. Like, do you have a game that's being released very soon, or something designed? I'm not sure. I don't know why but anyway, thank you very much for coming by. Oh, I see. Saw me on the stream with this. Okay, perfect. Well, sorry. It's just one of these funny things that you're like in this ecosystem, you see people, and yeah. But welcome. This is the Game Design Cuppa. It's a bit of a more relaxed kind of stream where I don't have really a defined set of things I'm talking about, and happy to just answer questions and just relax and drink tea. And yeah, on the Mondays and Fridays, it's a bit more. Well, I try to be a bit more structured, or sometimes I'm working on actual games and things like that. And yeah, and I guess the Viennese community is like there's actually quite a few designers in Vienna, right? I'm not sure. Is there a good community there that you're sort of a part of? Yeah, because I think does like people like Alexander Pfister and Wolfgang Warsch, I think, do they both live in Vienna? Maybe, I don't know. Because I know there's also a new publisher. There was like a 2-player head-to-head kind of thing. There was also like another Viennese company, I think, that was like Kickstarter last year. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, because I'm in Prague, and I was sort of thinking, oh, it'd be great. You know, I was sort of, you know, when I was thinking of moving here, I was like, oh, maybe I'd be able to go to Vienna or Berlin to visit Arnold, like every now and then, to like do some playtesting and like connect with those kind of communities, because I think that, you know, it's not that far from either of them. But of course, that hasn't quite happened. But hopefully in the future, who knows? Yes, okay, one more time games and non-ox games. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's great. There's like a good community there. That's really fun. Yeah, thanks very much for dropping by and saying you're on. Rob, I missed your thing about the mentoring. Trying to plan our first meeting. I guess it'll be mostly getting to know you and come up with something to think about for the next meeting. Yeah, and I think, yeah, the things I've been mostly asking my mentees in advance is to think about, yeah, what do they want to get out of the mentoring program? Like, what do they want to kind of like ideally after 3 months? What do they want to have either like learned or completed as a kind of goal? And then the second thing is like, what are some like shorter term goals, I think. But you're right, like the first meeting is kind of just getting to know people and seeing what that's like, and yeah, setting expectations and things like that. So we will, yeah, I'll see how it goes. So yeah, I've got one this afternoon and one tomorrow afternoon. And I think hopefully, yeah, usually I try and just set the same time and meet at the same time every 2 weeks, you know, between 30 and 45 minutes. And that seemed to work well last time. So hopefully it'll be a good time next. Yeah, a good mentoring session, I guess. So yeah, we shall see how we go. Yeah, and Marcus, are you designing anything at the moment? Are you like, do you have a game in the Cardboard Edison competition by any chance, or what sort of things are you working on at the moment? Bez is such a wonderful person. That's true, and we will be rating Bez at the end of this stream. I'm the kind of the I'm Bez's warm-up act on Wednesdays. So hopefully I get all the folks together, and then we can all go and raid Bez and yeah, and kind of enjoy that. I think, yeah, Bez is fantastic. I've known Bez for she was kind of like one of the also very early members of the London playtest kind of group and scene. Yeah, like, you know, 10 years ago or something like that. And yeah, I love what she's done and sort of managed to kind of like carve her own space as a publisher and designer and now streamer. You know, I can't believe how many streams she's done, actually. But yeah, and we're also, yeah, for those who haven't seen me, I'm also on Bez's stream once every fortnight now. We do a kind of like a discussion. We're sort of going through the steps of designing one at a time between myself, Bez, Rita Modal, and Alan Paul. So we have a kind of like a roundtable discussion. So the last one was about initial prototyping, and I think the next one will be like about iteration. Although Bez, I think, also has a game jam kind of week next week, I think. Those who are watching Bez a little bit better than I am can tell me. But so I think that might be what we're doing next week, possibly. Starlink is my least popular game, and 2 more coming this year. Okay, cool. I will check it out now because I am intrigued. Zikasama said, "I would stream, but nobody would watch me." Well, I don't think that's true, Zikasama. I think I would. Yeah, I would go for it. Like, well, I mean, I think the thing is, you could just try it. You know. Hold on, where are we? Here we go. So here's Starlink. Oh yeah, maybe I saw it. Was it also in Board Game News? Maybe at some point. Oh, Blue Orange. Okay. Yeah, I mean, great publisher. Definitely. And it's a drawing game. Oh, I see. Yeah, I think I remember seeing this. Yeah, it looks amazing. I love the look of it. Yeah. I love that kind of any game that gives a real kind of like sense of what it's about, or like a sort of a just gives a really good context. Yeah, and you're happy with how it's gone, Marcus? Like, has it been sort of reasonably well received? I mean, I think that's the thing. Like, you know, obviously on Board Game Geek, maybe there's sort of fewer things, but it's also not. I'm guessing it's not the kind of Board Game Geek crowd necessarily, you know, because it's more of a party game, and that tends not to be the Board Game Geek kind of crowd necessarily. But I love the look, and I think it's a really cool, really well. Looks like it was a good. They did a good job. Yeah, well, it's really cool. Well, thanks for that. Yeah. So I would say, Zixama, that just I think. What was I thinking when I streamed? I think you have to just. It's one of those things that I just said at some point. I'm just going to try it and start. It helps to sort of tell a few people, but I think like even now there's a good community of streamers. So like, and you're here. So like, if you let us know that you're streaming, I'm sure a lot of us will come and watch you and support you. I think that like it's a really good community for that, and I'd certainly want to support people who are starting to stream. So yeah, definitely. If you ever decide, do let me know, and I'll be there. Mark's saying, honestly, don't know yet. Still waiting for sales numbers. Oh, that's true. They must be coming soon, though, right? I mean, normally you get sales reports sort of around this time. We're getting to the. In most contracts you get, because you get paid yearly or every 6 months, and most contracts have 30 days to give you the numbers after the end of the period, and the end of the period is normally the end of December. And so you get to the end of January, and now we're just starting February. So we should be getting. I've been receiving some sales numbers in the last week or two. So yeah, I actually have a couple of games with Blue Orange at the moment as well. So we're that haven't been released. One will be released this year, probably middle of this year, I think. Sort of a children's narrative game. So yeah, but I've been happy with how we've been working together so far. So. Yeah, it's been a good experience, but yeah. Just check that I haven't. Oh, and thanks very much for the follow as well, Marcus. Sorry, I don't have anything set up on. I'm still the kind of like the beginners level of Twitch streaming with StreamYard, and not. I don't have any of the nice fancy notifications or anything like that. So. That you would expect from from the better streams maybe, but yeah, no worries, no, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, so I don't know what we could have a sneaky Luck Be a Landlord game as a relaxing start to the morning. There's a part of me that is very tempted, but maybe we'll try a little bit. We can have a relaxing kind of time, and I'll we can keep chatting as we're going, and see how that goes. It's actually I haven't played for a while. Probably on Friday I will. Hey, how you going, Betty? Good to see you. Nice, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, as Rob said, I'm not an addict. I can stop anytime I want. But yeah, they have a new patch coming out on. They release like every 2 weeks a new patch. I may have a gambling problem. I mean, this is probably a better. Oh, sorry, Peter. Sorry, I didn't recognize your photo here doesn't match your. I think it's the lack of glasses or something like that. Sorry. So Peter is another designer and playtester within the Prague sort of group that we sort of has started. Your photo is 15 years old. Maybe you should update it then, Peter. You know, you might be giving people the wrong impression. But yeah, so yeah. Oh, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, well, I guess we're not. I hope everything's okay where you are. But yeah, obviously we haven't been able to meet up and play test for a while. But yeah, hope the designing's going well in the meantime. Yeah, it was a really nice group that sort of had started. You know, it's a pity that it happened as was, because yeah, now I'm here. You know, we had some good sort of times in the middle of last year, but yeah, it's been a bit it's been a bit tough. I can give up any time I want. I can give up any time I want, but it's also a pretty relaxing way to start the morning. So I would argue that I'm just going to do that because I can. but yeah, as always, if still drop. You know, I'm not. I'll be playing pretty like relaxed. So yeah, if you still throwing questions in the chat or ideas or let us know what you're working on today. What's your sort of plan? Jay said, I playtested a game very similar to Starlink before the pandemic, like the core idea was the same. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of funny. I mean, it happens quite a lot in game design that you have sort of, hey, Penelope, how you going? Welcome. I feel like you might have followed me from, I think I've seen you on Theo's stream, like as a viewer, but thanks for dropping by. Yeah, well, I can't quite emulate Theo's excellent, board game Cuppa streams, but I try my best. Yeah. You sometimes have this idea that the games are kind of like, the just ideas sort of pop out in parallel. So the game that we've just, in the process of signing to Space Cowboys, actually, we found out that there's a game that has been released in the last year that's somewhat similar. And like the core premise sounds about the same. They play out quite differently, but they're completely separate development, and it just happens sometimes. It happens sometimes like that. And Sikasama, I'm working on it. My rulebook very time consuming. Yeah, that's true. It does. It unfortunately, rulebooks it's not the most fun. It would be, but it just has to do. I mean, you'll feel good when it's finished. So fingers crossed, Sikasama, you can finish it up. Simon's asked, what's this game I'm playing now? So yeah, the game is called Luck Be a Landlord. It's a new roguelike slot machine game, and the idea basically is that you have to make rent payments. So at the moment we have to make our first rent payment, which is 25 money after a certain number of spins. Every time you spin, you get money from the symbols that you spin. It's kind of like a bag builder, you can think of it like. And after every spin, you get to add a new symbol. So you start with like 5 symbols and 20 empties. And basically, you want to, every time you add a new symbol, it replaces an empty. So for example, and then they have all these different like interactions and things. So like you have a coconut, which just gives them money, but when it's destroyed, you get 2 coconut half symbols, which are added. And monkeys eat coconuts, which give you more money and things like that. So I'm going to add a coconut. Hey Mandela, how you going? I hope a bit of background listening to go through emails. Excellent use today. I am actually down to about 11 emails in my inbox. I went on a massive purge the other day, and it felt very, very good. Would recommend if you ever get a chance. It's sort of funny, like I'm one of these people who leaves emails almost as a reminder of things, even though it doesn't really work like that. So it's good to go through every now and then and just like clear out the chaff, and it felt rather good. Rob said, I have a day off work. Okay, great. I'm redoing graphics and components for the game. I'm working with Aquasource. Oh, fantastic. Oh, really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing, we're going to meet up soon, right, Rob, and look at games and things. So hope to see you. So you're saying, oh, thanks very much for the kind words. Going to work on Charlie's first submission. Oh, yeah, I guess, and with the nomination, hopefully that will also be another boost in sales. So, yeah, I hope the designing goes well. Zikasama, yeah, the page. Oh, this is for your rulebook. Page is looking good. In my opinion, doing each page in a drawing program due to all the images. That's fair enough. I think that's a good approach, and a lot of images always generally will improve a rulebook. So a great approach. I ain't touching 5 digits. Wow, unread emails. Well, I mean, of course, sometimes it's not unread, right? I mean, it's some amount of bulk, and But I'm one of these people. I like file every when I'm finished with an email, I sort it in Gmail. I sort it into a folder. So it disappears. I find it easy to find things. Good morning, Alex. How are you going? Okay, JK came across Starlink, decided not to keep working on their prototype because it was so similar. See stuff that was similar before, but never this close. Well, I mean, at least it sounds like it was sort of like it's unfortunate when you see that, but at least it hadn't got to the point where you'd kind of tried to finish the game and it was like yeah. So it's good that it works and it happens. It's hard to Alex is very wet. Commuting on a moped has its disadvantages. That's true. They never talk about that when they're selling you the moped. Well, I'm sort of distractedly playing Luck Be a Landlord, but I'm not too worried or it's a nice sort of relaxing thing. Cultists basically get a lot of money if you have lots of cultists in your will, so they're not a bad thing to pick up early on. Yeah. What, Alex? What have you done now? I'll take a key. Keys unlock boxes, which give you lots of money. Anyone can hope. I don't need another key. I'll take a die. It's sort of funny because as I'm streaming, I can see like two screens, both with the thing, and I tend to be looking over here with all the chat and everything. But then you're weirdly like this little bit of like lag between you selecting something with your mouse and not doing anything, which is funny how it works out. Yeah. What's going on? Hold on. Oh, everything's right. Yeah. All right. So I've made my first rent payment. Just excellent. Good to know. What are we gonna do? Do we want some wine? Do we want some? Let's get some wine. Oh, Oswald the Monkey. I do like Oswald the Monkey. Monkeys give me double. So, I'll be prepared to be played. So, Alex, have you not seen me play Luck Be a Landlord? So it's a roguelike slot machine game. Not addictive at all, as everyone knows in the chat. But I'm having a lot of fun. It's in Steam early access still, but it's very, very good for like an early access game. And the developer's really active, and I've enjoyed the game a lot. And it's not a bad way to start the morning, as some would say, from a game design perspective. And basically, it's like a bag building game, basically. But as a roguelike, which is kind of cool. Peter, I've been prototyping a roguelike game where you choose a character and play with it through a level-based campaign, level up after your game and play it again, but being better. And of course, the game changes, bosses get better, new enemies show up, etc. And now I have found the Hades video game, which is amazing. Have you played it? I haven't played it, and yeah, it has come out. I think I'm going to have to play it, even though it's the style of game that it's not really I'm not much of like a fighting kind of game person, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I think it's getting to the point where I just have to look at it, I think. There was also a really good Game Maker's Toolkit that Mark's newest video about the Nemesis system in some of the Lord of the Rings video games, which is also kind of a little bit like a legacy kind of aspect, which I think is also quite cool. So yeah, it'd be really worthwhile. Alex is also saying I'm not usually into real-time action games, but it's worth trying. So you have played it then, Alex? Yeah, I should just try it at this point. I have no excuse. Sounds like Rogue Legacy. You should check this out if you have inspiration. If you haven't seen that. Oh yes, okay. Well, yeah, definitely. I'm not doing much roguelike. I mean, obviously, like I'm working on this Card Crawl Adventures, which is a roguelike app with Arnold, Tiny Touch Tales. So I guess that's my main roguelike kind of thing at the moment. I have to admit, playing Luck Be a Landlord has made me want to make a bag-based, slot machine, tabletop kind of game. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'll go all that way. Okay, I need to get a monkey. I have like so many coconuts, and monkeys eat coconuts, and I have double stuff for monkeys. So I need a monkey. Everyone put some monkeys in the chat if anyone has a monkey emote or emoji or whatever. Oh my gosh, wow, all right. We have so many monkeys. I'll take the green pepper. Come on, monkeys. No, I think it's well, all right. I'm just gonna take every coconut I see and hope someday, somehow I will get a monkey. But yeah, I would recommend anyone to check out Luck Be a Landlord. I think it's a really great game actually. And what's it? Oh, okay. One of the people in your online place is working on a deck building slot machine again. Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, thanks, Nicole. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think there's a lot of like I'm also working on a something a bit inspired by like auto chess, auto battlers, and like I think there's always things that are going to be very like in vogue, right? So they're going to be people working on those, and yeah, I think that's where you'll get a lot of like parallel designs happening and things like that. So yeah, we'll see how all that goes. Okay. Well, if I find a monkey, then we're definitely going to win this run. But if I don't find a monkey, I may lose. So let's see how that goes. The birdhouse is not that bad. We can take the birdhouse. Alex says, have you ever seen those marble runs with a rocking tray? They allow you to fill up a specific number of marbles, then release them. Could use that with a potion explosion type layout to make a marble builder. I don't think I know this. Do you have a link or something that you could like whisper me, or maybe you're also a mod, so you can put the link in the chat? Like, I think I vaguely might know what you're talking about, but yeah, I don't actually know. Where's my monkey? I need a monkey. Monkey. This goes up to 969. Oh, you are a mod. Okay, yeah, no worries. Oh well, I mean, yeah, up to you. Don't no rush or anything. But so this monkey, I'm like perfectly set up for a monkey when I get a monkey. I'm gonna be good. Tikasama says, considering how many games get designed each year, there will be overlap. I was working on a theme park game, put it on the shelf. Then a published game was doing what my design was, but better. Yeah, I mean, it just happens. There have actually been a lot of theme park games that have been released even very recently. Yeah, and yeah, it just happens. I guess that's the way it is. But like there were a lot of pirate games at some point, and like Vikings as a theme. Yeah. I think you just at the end just make your game the best it can be, and realistically there can be a lot of similarities between games, and it's still fine because the games themselves are actually reasonably different. So yeah, I don't think it's a real huge problem. Thanks, Nicola. It's not working yet, but we'll see. Oh yes, Pirates Outlaws. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have it. I have it on my phone. I found it a bit. I bounced off it quickly. It didn't quite hold my attention. So I'm hoping that maybe I should give it another go. It seemed a bit light for me, and I guess, you know, like Slay the Spire, for example, is a very like high bar for a roguelike deck building game, and so yeah, I would just normally would do that. You know, I would do that basically. But anyway. Oh gosh! All right. Well. I have the best setup for a monkey when I finally find a monkey, but I fear that I'm going to die. Actually, wow, that was really lucky. This key unlocked both my boxes. So, yeah, I know Slay the Spire is being made at a board game. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued as to what's going to happen with that. Yeah, I guess that's the main thing I would say. But yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see more details about it, I think, and work that out. Oh my gosh. Come on. Oh, I will take the treasure chest in the hope that we'll get something and unlock it. Are we going to survive? That's the question. Oh, yes, we do survive. Good. So we've got 10 minutes to win before we'll go off and be raiding Bez. Still hoping for that monkey. Have I tried Monster Train? I would like to very much. Unfortunately, it's not on Mac. I do actually have access to a PC at the moment, but I haven't I have to set up Steam on it and etc. Yeah, so I should try. I would like to try Monster Train. Like what do you think? Do you like it more than Slay the Spire, for example? I mean, I guess I'm a little bit not burnt out on Slay the Spire, but I played it so much that, you know, I think I'm happy to play something new, realistically. Ooh, a wild card. Very nice. I'd like to see a wild card. Okay, I'll check out the video at the end, but thanks for that, Alex. Come on, monkey. Come on, monkey. Give us a monkey. Kingdom for a monkey. They're both good in different ways. Okay, well, that's good to know. Dame's okay, but I don't really have many gems. I'll just take the money. One day my monkey will come. One day. Peter's saying, one advantage deck building video games has is they can do a lot of number modifiers, and since they change numbers and stuff on the cards in games, players can still manage everything and don't get lost. Yeah, I think that's, I mean, it's the same for auto butlers that I found that's a difficulty in tabletop. You really have to think of smart ways to sort of simplify some aspects of it, because you can't, you just can't maintain that level of like detail. It's like Civilization games when you compare like Civilization, the video game, versus the board games. You're always going to have to make kind of compromises, I guess, and simplify things a bit. Okay. Are we gonna just keep taking more coconut? The more that can be baked into the game or stripped away is better. I think, and that's why I'm actually kind of excited, because I think there's a lot of interesting room in board games to come up with cool new spins on that mechanism. And that could potentially, that would solve those problems with the complexity, but at the same time give you something actually new to kind of experience. So I'm still really excited. I hope that more and more people will keep working on that, I guess, is my point. That'd be quite exciting. Oh, goodness me. One day my monkey will come is the song Disney did terrible. Yeah, it might have the wrong kind of impression. Such a good setup for a monkey. The moment I get a monkey, it's just. But I think this is the time I'm going to lose if if it's going to happen. Let's see. One day my monkey will come. One day. This will be so sad if we don't. It's not looking particularly good. Zikazama, talk to the devs who made Darkest Dungeon, who made the board game, sorry, and what they talked about what they changed, what they streamlined, they removed, as the ideas didn't translate well to tabletop. Oh, interesting. Is that game already released, the Darkest Dungeon board game? I've never played the video game. I'd be quite interested. All right. All the hopeful points about monkeys haven't come to pass, and I think we're dead. By one. Wow. No. Where are you, monkey? Monkey, we're out now. Well, that's a sad way to end the stream there. Oh well, it doesn't always work out. When you have 5 coconuts but no monkey, that's the way it goes. You'll never hit retail. It's Kickstarter exclusive. Okay, cool. I will have a look. Jay, yeah, exactly. I agree, Jay. Yeah, so if you want to try streaming, I'd really recommend it. I think, as Jay said, I think that people interested, I'd be interested certainly as well. So give it a go. Morning, Bass. How you going? Welcome. Hope you're well. You've just missed us. We had a failed Luck Be a Landlord run. Couldn't find any monkeys. Had so many coconuts. The message is this: don't try to make a living playing a slot machine. That is true. You can make a living designing slot machines, but not playing them. So that is definitely something to be thinking about. So I guess we're slowly winding down. So probably about like in five or so minutes, we'll be heading over. We'll be raiding Bez and saying good morning to her. But I hope everyone will. Oh, I see. I hope everyone will have a fantastic day, whatever you're doing. I played the Darkest board game. I eventually did not back it as it was competing with Bloodborne board game. That's true. There have been quite a lot of these kind of video game adaptations have been released recently. Yeah, I guess I don't. They're the kind of games I don't tend to back on Kickstarter. I don't back that many things, so and I don't know a lot of people who back lots of Kickstarter, so I don't really get a chance to play the games. But yeah, it's interesting. We have actually Theo and I have worked on a digital, like an adaptation of a video game into a board game, which we hope will be kickstarted sometime this year or next year. Not exactly sure what's going to happen. And that was a really interesting process, actually. And again, it's how do you distill what are the key elements of the digital game, and how do you sort of cut away the fluff. In this particular case, the video game is a very like fast-paced game. It's like, how do you keep that sense of like velocity in the game, because it's a lot harder in a tabletop game. Yeah. Yes. Oh, great. Well, yeah. When it's announced, I'll be able to. Yeah, I think it's one of these things we definitely can't talk about until it's announced. But it should be the publisher's next game, I hope. That's always the thing when you've signed a game with a publisher. You're like, oh, I really, really hope that's going to be the next one that they kickstart or release or anything. But you kind of never know what's on a publisher's slate. You know, they can have lots of different things that are going on. So that's the way it goes. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, gotta love NDAs indeed. Well, we don't actually. I don't think we have an NDA for this particular one. But I think it's more just out of respect for the publisher and their relationship with the digital game publisher and things like that. Hey, say you're late. You missed some luck being landlord. We couldn't get any monkeys, but you're just in time for Bez. So that's you can join us as we head over and raid Bez's stream. Yes, a will cook is never late. Exactly. Yeah, and I'm going to get some breakfast and just try and get my cardboard Edison judging done today. I think that's my task, and also to get a bit of feedback to Arnold on the Cardboard Adventure, and something to look forward to, as Arnold said I think earlier, that hopefully there'll be a Mac version of Cardboard Adventure so I can show it off on the stream and see how it goes. We did not play a live play of the cruise. Rob, what are you doing? Exactly, yeah. Zay can see through that thinly veiled, not threat, but yeah. Yeah, and thanks very much, Marcus, for coming by. I hope well, maybe see you on future streams. Yeah, hope you have a great day, and good luck with all designing, etc. Is Bez? Someone let me know when Bez is live, and we'll head over. I guess we're still a couple of minutes early, but yeah, we shall see how it goes. I will also try not to be completely play too much Magic the Gathering Arena. I can't promise anything. I will try, or at least I'll try. Like, it's the kind of like, you should get your work done and then reward yourself. It's something I'm not particularly good at, but hopefully I can get a bit better at that. But we shall see. Yeah, she is usually quite on time, so yeah, but that's fine. It's not any real problem. Quick question: how many designs are you working on concurrently? That is a great question. I wish I knew the answer. I'm going to say it's more than 10. It must be like 13 or 14 or 15 games, I think. I mean, it depends a little bit about like what is working on, because there are games that are signed to publishers which I am working on still. Like we're working on development, but that's obviously a bit different to like starting a design of a game. So. But yeah, if you're counting that, well, I mean, I don't know what the current count with games signed with publishers is. I can have a quick look. I'm not sure if I said this before, but I have a Google Doc with like released games and games in my pipeline. But it's mainly for my parents who like don't really like check Board Game or anything, but they want to kind of check. So I gave them this link to this like shared Google Doc. So currently, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's like 23 or 24 games under contract which haven't been released yet. Yeah, so those are the ones being developed, and then there's at least another 5 to 10 games which are not signed or that I'm working on sort of actively. So. yeah, it's a busy time, and of course that number is a little bit big because you know, a lot of things got delayed because of COVID and things like that. So it should be a good couple of years for me. I hope so. We'll see where we go. Alex says, yeah, I have 8 on the go, but thinking of paring down. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like active designs, I would normally only have like something like 5 is probably the maximum. And I work with a lot of other co-designers, right? So it's not that I have to handle them all my own, you know. So it's a bit different when you get to share them out, I guess. So maybe I should be stepping it up instead. Well, I mean, yeah, it's just, you know, a lot of, and of course, some of these projects that I signed, they've been signed for 5 years or something, you know, like they're not things I've had to work on realistically. No, yeah, I think someone made the point, like, what is it, like, you know, you're an overnight success after 10 years or something like that, or whatever. Like it looks like, oh wow, there's so much, but I've been doing this for 10 years. You know, in my first year, you know, when I was working on Relic Runners, I was working on just Relic Runners. That was the only game I was working on. I maybe had one other game, and you know, when I went to Essen the first time, I was pitching one game, nothing was signed. So I guess my point is, don't, you know, it's not a reasonable thing to compare someone who's been working this 10 years. It's yeah, I think, you know, be comfortable where you are. That's how it is. Rob has 6 live projects plus a few nearly live. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's good. And I think, I mean, I like to work on lots of different things, and I also don't work on like very complex games, so that helps. You know, the more, if you're working on more complex games, I think it's harder to balance a lot of different ones. But yeah, so yeah, one day I can, yeah, it'd be great to go through the things that are signed, but you know, it's a bit difficult to kind of like talk about them, you know, before they're sort of announced. But yeah, we could talk about it more on a future stream. And Bez is live, so I think we're going to go and raid. Thank you all again for dropping in. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thanks everyone for hanging around. Actually, I'm surprised actually we had so many viewers. So thank you very much. Hope it's relaxing. Hope it's a good way to start the day. And have a fantastic day. I'll be back on Friday afternoon, 4 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. CET, normal times. And yeah, good luck. And let's go and say hi to Bez. I will find Bez. I'm going to come up in my, yep. Great. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Take care. Have a great day. Thanks again. All right. Bye.